So, my family consists of my dad, mom, my 2 sisters and my 2 brothers. I'm, a nearly adult male, the oldest. My dad was estranged from his dad since he was my age. His mom died when he was 10, so we never knew Grandma either. My dad was open about the fact Grandma wasn't a very nice man and all kinds of stuff, but he never went into details. I know he really did a number on Dad because I still sometimes see Dad look ashamed if he spills something or makes a mistake. I also know he tries to hold back whenever he cries and looks downright disgusted with himself for crying. 3 years ago, his dad reached out and my mom and my sister, Teen, were so excited and welcomed him into the family. Dad said no way. He and Mom fought a lot about it. My siblings all told Dad they had a right to know our grandfather and he should love his dad. I was dragged along at first and I stopped going. Dad refuses to have any part in it, and he and Mom fight because he tells her his father is never going to step foot inside our house, and if he does, then Dad will leave and never come back. So Mom takes my siblings to see him. Christmas was a huge damn fight last year because they decided to spend it with this dude and my dad refused to go and so did I. My siblings started crying to Dad's face, saying that they wanted Christmas with him. Mom was calling him selfish. She tried to do the whole, I'm your mother and you listen to me, and Dad told her he's my father and I could stay with him if I wanted to. They're still sour about it, but then Dad took me out for his birthday and didn't come home until late because he found out they were planning to take him out to meet with his father. My dad told my mom and my siblings that since he couldn't trust them with his birthday, he would only celebrate with the people he could trust now. I also heard him tell Mom this couldn't continue and they needed to divorce. Now my mom is freaking out because she doesn't want the divorce, and my siblings are really upset. They told me I should help since Dad and I are still close. I told them they should learn to live with the consequences of their decisions. I pointed out to Mom she was always big on us learning. I told them this was a big one. My mom told me my siblings are so young and don't deserve this. I told her it was all her fault because she undermined Dad by making a point to demand he come in front of my siblings so they would think they could manipulate him and not listen. Am I the idiot for telling my mom and siblings they should learn to live with the consequences of their decisions? So this man literally abused your father, and then your mom and sister thought it would be wonderful if they reconnected, and your father shared this sensitive and personal information with her because he thought he could trust her? Why is your mom mad at him? You're absolutely right, my guy. She did this to herself and her family. Not the idiot, and I can absolutely see this from your father's point of view. My relationship with my father is similar to your father's relationship with your grandfather, and if someone tried to trick me into seeing my father or went around me to mend that fence, I'd be absolutely livid. Why is your mother choosing Grandpa over her husband and marriage? Why is having this man in her and your siblings' life worth more to her than her husband's feelings? I'm also going to add that there's no way Grandpa isn't aware his presence is causing a potential divorce, and he doesn't care as he's getting what he wants. Grandpa is probably thrilled to get a shot at abusing his victim again by torpedoing his marriage and poisoning the kids' minds against him. To me, it sounds like Grandpa is one of those classic, superficially charming psychopaths. The sort of guy who wins women over and then brutalizes them, or who could start a cult. There's probably no rational reason that OP's mom has chosen him to the detriment of her marriage. I'm upset and think my husband is being selfish right now. I, 32 female, am married to Alex, 30 male. I'm currently 3 months pregnant, and this pregnancy has been really hard on me. In the past, I've miscarried, so we're keeping this pregnancy a secret until about 4 months, and will not tell friends and family until then. I have awful morning sickness that has let up in the past month, and as I can't tell anyone, it's been hard, but Alex has really supported me at this time. Alex's 30th birthday was Wednesday, and I invited close family and friends over and got catering from his favourite restaurant. I couldn't cook huge volumes of food for guests to be up on my feet very long, so I made sure the party was short by throwing it on Sunday, so people would leave early for work the next day. The party was tiring for me, and while I wanted to be there for Alex, I was glad when everyone left as I just wanted to go to bed. The morning after, Alex said he had fun, and I thought that was the end of it. I made a cake for his birthday on Wednesday and got him a birthday present. He seemed disappointed when I asked him why he asked me if this was it. I was confused, and he said he assumed I was throwing him a big surprise birthday as I knew how much celebrating his 30th meant to him. I told him no, his party was what happened on Sunday, and that I'd been too sick and tired to plan anything bigger. That party alone was a huge effort for me, especially coordinating what worked for everyone else, which happened to be the Sunday and worked out best for me. I got upset, called him selfish, and have avoided him ever since. He's upset because for my 30th he planned a big celebration and even invited my college friend from another country. I obviously appreciated his effort, and that was the best birthday anyone has ever planned for me, but that's not possible for me to do for him with my pregnancy. I told him we have different priorities now, and he said that the baby wasn't even here yet. Alex has made it clear in the past that he wants to throw a big birthday party for his 30th, but with my pregnancy and him seeing how it affects me day to day, I thought he would be more understanding of the effort I did make and be more aware of what is possible for his birthday. You are the idiot. This is wild, and like almost every damn couples-related situation on here, comes down to a lack of proper communication. You knew what he wanted and knew you couldn't provide it for him right now, so why did you wait for the day, and why were you surprised he was disappointed? All you need to do is say in advance, "Alex, I know it's your big birthday that you've always wanted a huge celebration for, and I'm really sorry, but I just can't right now. But I promised that we'll make 31 the new 30, or something like that." She could have asked some of his friends and family for help or hired a party planner. I would have probably just asked my husband to plan it himself, and I'd pitch in as much as possible because I'm having a hard time with the pregnancy. That sounds reasonable too. There were so many other options than, "I can't do it, so you don't get it." Disagree. Opie's not the idiot. Shouldn't it be a given that your wife, who is having a rough pregnancy and has limitations, isn't able to throw you a huge birthday bash? I don't know, it seems like because pregnancy is normal, people forget that it has physical and mental effects. Women adjust and sacrifice things during pregnancy. The men who impregnate them can do the same. If you're old enough to be a father, you should be mature enough to realize that sometimes your birthday isn't the most important thing in the world. He could plan one if he absolutely had to have a fancy party. So here are some quick facts. I, 30 female, have a brother, 33. He and his husband, 34, are adopting 2 babies from 2 different women. My brother makes about $95,000 and his husband makes about $80,000. Both are teachers in high-paying districts. I'm single and make about $60,000, also a teacher, and bought a house last year. I do not get paid over the summer, and I'm in 2 weddings coming up, which also takes a lot of money. My brother and his husband are understandably very excited and want to have a baby shower to help get stuff for possibly 2 babies. One baby is due September the 26th and the other is October 15th. Here's where things get a bit dicey. They, mostly my brother, want to have a big fancy baby shower with possibly 100 guests or more. He said it would be like a mini wedding and even got into a fight with his mother-in-law about the venue cost and expecting them to shell out the money for it. She called him spoiled and he got very offended. Of course, I want to help as much as I can. I offered to make the invitations and to help organise stuff. But as I talked with my brother, I realised how much he expects me and his sister-in-law, 31, to contribute since all the parents and themselves are paying over $6,500 for the venue and food and drink. From what I understand, he mentioned we would cover decorations, centerpieces, favours, and doing the seating chart, which is reasonable, but then he started to mention mini bottles of champagne for each person as a favour, a photo booth, and other extras like that on top of a gift. I was told I could get the other crib or bassinet since sister-in-law is getting one for about $350. When I said all of that is a lot of money, he said, "Just be glad I'm not asking you to contribute to paying for the venue like I was going to originally do." Of course, I want to spoil my nieces and help as much as I can, and maybe they just expect me to put out all this money without asking. I've also been the money-conscious one and even helped bail my brother out of credit card debt a few years ago. It was just $3,000 and he did eventually pay me back. So, am I the idiot? Also, how much do siblings generally contribute to a baby shower? Not the idiot. No. Your brother having children is not your financial burden, and a big fancy baby shower like this is ridiculous. It's a baby shower, not a wedding. He's using you all to throw himself a big lavish party, and it sounds like the family has all crumbled to his whim. You need to put it in boundaries and explain what you're willing to spend and nothing more. His mother-in-law is right. He's acting like a spoiled brat. We can all spend thousands on stupid stuff, but as long as it's our money, it's okay. Wanting others to spend their money on it is selfish and show how little they value you and your time. This is not a baby shower. This is not about either daughter. This is a daddy shower because it sounds like daddy wants a fabulous, glamorous shower with him at the centre. Tell him to cut his coat to suit his cloth. Update. Wow, first off, thank you all so much for your responses. I honestly felt like such a bad sister with all this, but I'm feeling so much better now. I had a conversation with my brother about setting my firm budget and what he can expect from me, and I explained my situation. He was actually very understanding and apologised for any anxiety he caused me. Hopefully, he continues to be understanding. Thank you all so much. My husband and I have 3 kids in our home. My stepdaughter is a tween. I've known her since she was a toddler, and I became her stepmom when she was soon after. We also have a toddler son and an infant daughter together. To give some background info first, my stepdaughter's mom was not in the picture when I met my husband. She never wanted to claim any parental responsibilities, and when I met my husband, his ex had accumulated a lot of child support debt and had not seen my stepdaughter since the hospital. I signed up to be a second parent, and I love my stepdaughter. In my heart, I consider her one of my kids just as much as my biological children. We had such a good relationship. She would sometimes call me Mom, sometimes my name, but she'd always say my husband and I were her parents, and she adored her brother when he was born. Over 2 years ago, her mom came back into the picture and said she wanted to see my stepdaughter. My husband said it would need to be gradual, but my stepdaughter had a right to know her. His ex didn't like that and sued for full custody, and yes, after having nothing to do with her for 7 years, she lost, but this started us on a step-up plan for her to gain some custody. It's been a nightmare. My relationship with my stepdaughter suffered badly because of all this. Her relationship with her siblings has also suffered. She's rude to me now, refuses to listen to me, and rejects the 3 of us. It's always worse after she sees her mom. My husband took this issue to court, and the judge made it clear he will never sever the relationship between mom and daughter, no matter what. I'm struggling. If I give her the time and attention needed, it comes at the cost to our younger kids. But if I focus just on them, it's not giving her the time and attention she needs. And the counsellor told her she needs to see that I'm not going anywhere. She really emphasised that it was important. The counsellor even spoke to the judge, a different one this time, and the judge said he was going to follow the previous judge's decision that contact is never going to be severed between mother and daughter. My husband brought this issue back to court because it was getting worse. So now we're at a point where I can't be in charge of all 3 at the same time all day, especially now that school is out, but even during school time, it's too much. I told my husband we needed to hire some sort of helper for me with the kids. He was against it and told me it was a big expense after we spent a fortune on court and therapy. His parents heard us talking about it the other day, and they jumped in to say I wouldn't do this if all 3 were my bio kids, and I just want to pawn my stepdaughter off on someone else. I insisted this was not true, and I insisted I needed help because the kids would suffer in the long run, and so would my mental health. My husband felt guilty because I got very emotional, but his parents said I just proved I wouldn't do this if they were all really mine. Am I the idiot? If they were all really yours, there wouldn't be an alienating, disruptive birth mother in the picture, running up court costs so the situation wouldn't have arisen. Are they seriously suggesting that one parent can cope with a struggling, traumatized child, a toddler, and a baby single-handedly and full-time if those children are biologically related to her? Also, it sounds like you're looking for help for your bio kids to spend more time with stepdaughter, so I don't see how this is you ignoring stepdaughter. Tell your husband to tell his parents to be useful or butt out, and tell your husband that you are not Superwoman and you need more help from him in managing his 3 children. Not the idiot, of course, but where is all the back child support? That's 7 whole years she didn't pay a dime, if I read correctly, so that money could certainly hire an extra hand throughout the day. It hasn't been paid. She doesn't have a job that we can tell, appears to be living off her parents, and has no income to garnish or anything. It's very frustrating, but she still owes it in current support too, which also hasn't been paid despite being in court for that as well. It worries me that I will end up so worn down that I won't have anything to give to any of the kids. I can feel it coming already some days. I, 25 male, was together with my girlfriend, 25, for 1 year. Both my girlfriend and I have friends of opposite genders, but there's this one guy that I'm uncomfortable with. My gut screams this guy was waiting for his opportunity. Everything he did, the way he acted, just screamed satellite guy to me. We had previous discussions about him before, and my ex-girlfriend just said, he's always like that. Fast forward to last week, my ex-girlfriend told me they wanted to go to a festival event together with this guy. There's a band they both like, and they would want to go to see them and have fun in a different city. I told her I was uncomfortable with her going to the festival with this guy. Plus, most people rent tents during the festival and stay together in one. She said she would go there regardless, as it's just a friend and they want to see the band live. I wanted to propose going together with them, but I wasn't available at that time. I told her I was extremely uncomfortable with her going to the festival with this guy. We had a small argument, but she brushed it off. The same weekend, they went there and came back this Monday. We don't live together, but she has clothes at my place. I packed them and delivered them to her on the same day. I also told her I broke up with her and wished her the best of luck. What happened afterward was not pretty. There was a lot of crying and screaming from her side. She asked why I was breaking up with her now and should have told her I would break up with her if she went with the guy. I told her it's not healthy to give ultimatums in a relationship. I just stated my boundaries and how uncomfortable I was with her going to the festival with this guy. In the end, she breached the boundary and I decided to break up with her. That's all there is. I blocked her everywhere, but she's trying to reach out to me through different phone numbers and texting me nothing happened between them there. I did not even imply something happened there, but okay. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You handled that correctly. You didn't give her any or else or ultimatums. You told her you were unhappy with the decision but didn't try to force her to do what you wanted. She chose to do something she knew would be upsetting to you and detrimental to your relationship. You handled this in the best possible way. I do not believe that the ex-girlfriend can be ignorant of the fact that this friend wants a lot more than friendship. Totally inappropriate place for someone in a relationship to put themselves in. At best, it's a very bad look. Not to mention encouraging an enemy of your relationship to keep on attacking it. I used to be this girl. I have a lot of male friends and I used to dig my feet in about my boyfriends being uncomfortable with that. I felt so justified that they couldn't tell me who to be friends with. I've changed my mind on this one and would like to think we are all constantly evolving and hopefully becoming better people, because I realized I was telling my boyfriends these friends mattered more than them, not with my words but with my actions. Nobody ever dumped me, but had that happened, I bet back then I'd have gone down kicking and screaming, but it would have been what I deserved. Good job, OP. Boundaries are important.